welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, where today I'm going to take a look at the hard New York Times Sudoku puzzle from today's paper. This is normally a very consistent puzzle. It's pretty difficult. I'd say it was sort of between fiendish and super fiendish in terms of difficulty if you're used to sort of UK nomenclature when it comes to Sudoku puzzles. And that means that I think it's very similar to a championship Sudoku level. They tend to, in the World Sudoku Championship, you won't see too many classic puzzles that are much more difficult than the New York Times hard puzzle. And the reason for that is they don't want to encourage guessing. They want people to find a logical path through it and to find the person who is able to spot the logical techniques the fastest, not the person who is the best at using a pencil and a eraser. And for that reason I think it's great. It really is a good puzzle to hone your technique. So without further ado, let's take a look. As usual, what I'll do is if I identify in a 3x3 block where a number can only go in exactly two positions, so you can see that in this block an 8 can only go in these two positions because of the 8 here, then I make little pencil marks just to remind me of that as we go through the solve. In fact, you can see with this 5 here I can identify a nice pair, 5, 8 here, put in a couple of pencil marks up here. These two squares are going to have to be 2 and 6 now. Oops, 2 and 6. These two squares are going to have to be 6 and 8. So a nice beginning. Now there's going to be a 4 in one of those two positions because of this 4 and this 4 and how they interact on this box. And these three squares are going to have to be 2, 4 and 5 because they're the only, with this 6, 8 pair, you can notate 2s but not 4s yet. I don't think anyway. Let's just take a, yes we can, look, there's a 4 here. By simple Sudoku rules, we have a 4 and a 4, so this square here has got to be a 4, therefore this square has got to be a 4, therefore we can pencil mark 4s up here, look, and 7s over there because of this 7 and this 7. 2, 4, 5. This 5, that resolves the 5, 8 there. I should have seen that more quickly. Which gives us a 5 here as well. Need to stop typing in the wrong numbers. It's never helpful when you're solving Sudoku. So you can see we're looking for 2, 6 and 9 into these positions across the central row. 9s, yes, this 9 here interacts on this block and allows us to place the 9 in those two positions, and now we know there's a 9 in one of these two positions in the central 3x3 and there's a 9 here, so in fact this square has to be a 9, therefore this square has to be a 9. So this is a 2, 6, but I can't pencil mark this according to the rules we've just mentioned, because if I do put a 2, oops, let's do that. If I put a 2 here, that's implying a 2 can only go in one of two positions in this 3x3, and that's not what we'd be saying here. So again, if you're solving on paper, you might find a way of writing this square or making it clear this square could only be a 2 or a 6, but on the computer we're limited in terms of our pencil marks. Okay, now this is a great place to pause the video actually and have a stare at this grid. There is a very nice piece of logic. This comes up quite a lot in the New York Times, but it's really quite pretty. I'm not sure it's going to help us solve the puzzle, but I suspect it will. Now, where you need to look is at column 8, and the trick, the reason I got this was I noticed this 7, 5 here, and this 1 here, and a 7 and a 5 here as well. Now the effect of this 1 is interesting because it means that in effect there can't be a 1, 7 or a 5 in either of these two positions. Obviously this 5 and this 7 and the 1 eliminate it from here. It's the same effect here, just that the 1 is sort of shifted down into row 9 instead. Now keep going up the column and let's see if we can see any other cells that are restricted in the same way. Now look at this one. There's a 1 and a 5 in the box and a 7 here. So this square also cannot be a 1, 5 or a 7. And we already have 3 given numbers in column 8. So if I know that there is no 1, 5, 7 in 3 of the open positions, then the other 3 positions must contain the numbers 1, 5 and 7. So that's, oh no, sorry. This has got to be a 1, 5 or a 7, this has got to be a 1, 5 or a 7, and this has got to be a 1, 5 or a 7. Now I'm just breaking with the pencil marks just to sort of really illustrate what I mean there. So you can see actually with this 5 we're able to eliminate a 5 there. And the other numbers will therefore have to be, what's it going to be, 4, 6 and 8. Now that's great because look, if we've got 4, 6 and 8 into the open positions, we have a 4 here and a 4 here. So this square has to be a 4, which means this is a 4 because of our earlier pencil mark. This is a 6 or an 8 and this is a 6 or an 8, which I can't quite use yet. We can now look at 4s, for example. That's going to give us a 4 here. That's going to give us a 4 here. Oh, we've done the 4s now. I now know that's what that change of font means. We can add the 2 and the 5 there. And you can actually see, I suspect the puzzle is breaking now, as in we're starting to make some quicker progress. So this 2 here means we can place a 2 up there. Oh, and in fact, look, we've got 3s here. This 3, and this 3 mean there's a 3 in that position. Put some 3s into those cells. 1, 3, 7 and 8 down column 4. Ah, yes, 1, 3 and 7. So this square here has to be an 8. 8, 8. Means there's an 8 in one of those two positions over there. 2, 6, 7. Might as well pencil mark the 7s in there as well. 7s here and here. That's going to have to be a 7 there. There's no 7 in that position. This is a 7 instead. So that forces the 7 up into one of those two positions there. 1 and 9 are the only. This has to be a 1 now. And that means we get a 1 and a 3 down here, which is very nice indeed. And as I say, I think we're nearly there. So 2, 6 and 8 to place. You can see this is the only position an 8 can go now in column 5. That resolves the 8 and the 6 over here. Pencil mark 8's down there. And this square has to be a 6. Yeah, so I mean, we're done now in terms of the complexity or the hard part of the solve. This now has to be a 6, this is an 8. And I'll just carry on running through just to illustrate. Oops, there we go. We get the change of font for the 8s now. 2 and 3 pair into these cells. Let's have 2 and 6 for those two. Surely that's going to resolve itself. Not quite though, no. So that's a 1, 5 or a 7 there. 2, 6, 6, 2. 2's into those two positions. You can see 5, 5. There's only one place a 5 can go in this 3 by 3 block, and that's going to be in that square there. It means this is a 7. Oh, no, that was a 7. And this is a 1. Tidy up the solve just to confirm, I guess, that we haven't made a mistake. It would be bad if we have. 3, 9 over here, I think. That looks right. 9 there, and this must be a 5. And there we go. So just a couple of bits of logic, but the really nice part, I think, was looking at column 8 there and identifying that 157 triple. Comes up a lot in the New York Times, that technique, and it's not always easy to see. So I hope you spotted it. If not, I hope this video will help you spot it next time. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please do subscribe. We appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time on Cracking the Cryptic.